So, what is the best revenge on a narcissistic person who has devalued you, discarded you, potentially moved on to a new person? Well, you'll often hear people say that the best revenge for a narcissist is when you move on and live your best life. But why is that the best revenge? A lot of people are left with a feeling of injustice. They're left with feelings of anger towards this person, a need to actively take revenge, to basically be caught up in this cycle with the narcissist. So, what you have to understand is that the whole way that narcissists, love bomb you, devalue you, discard you, often move on to a new person and triangulate you with the new person, rub it in your face that they were able to move on from you so quickly, leave you feeling confused. This is all meant to make you devastated and leave you in that state of devastation for as long as possible. And if the narcissist ever gets the sense that you're doing better than them, you've moved on, you're leveling up your life, you've restored your sense of self, they're inevitably going to come back and they're going to try to repeat the cycle all over again, usually with a smaller time frame. They're going to do it faster. And so the whole way that they exit the relationship, it's meant to be as confusing as possible. It's meant to leave you ruminating about it. It's meant to make you think about things that you could have done differently, to try and project the blame onto you and to make you angry and to just stir you up and make you energetically focused on the narcissist. And so what you have to understand is this whole process is meant to elicit a reaction from you. And if you get caught up in feeling these resentful, angry feelings and trying to get back at the narcissist, showing them how angry you are, really being reactive to them, you're basically playing right into their game. I mean, this is exactly what the whole process is meant to elicit from you. And so that is kind of a losing strategy. That's going to make them feel good. That's going to make them feel like, wow, I really affected this person so much. They're hanging on to all these feelings towards me. I can get under their skin. I can make them so mad. I'm living in their head rent free, right? And so it's natural to have these kind of feelings of anger and want justice after what's happened to you. It's very traumatizing. But if you really want to know how to get under the narcissist's skin, here's the best way to do it, right? It's you having gone through everything that they put you through and them discarding you, leaving you out to dry, them moving on, and you having absolutely no reaction whatsoever. Or better yet, they do all of that, and not only do you not react, but you immediately get on with your life and you revalue yourself and you start doing better again. This hits narcissists in a pretty deep way because they really portray themselves as the most interesting, the most relevant, the most grandiose, important person that you've ever met. That's kind of how they want to position themselves. And they really base their whole kind of ego around this idea. And they want you to think that you can't live a good life without them. That's a big part of how they really act when they discard you, is that you are so beneath them, you never mattered to them. They move on to the new person, the new supply really quickly. and they'll act like everything's great. They're living a great life without you, and that's equal parts them love bombing and getting validation from the new person as it is watching how miserable you are that they're doing it, right? They almost care more about the fact that they were able to have so much emotional control over you than they do about this new person. And this is something that's so important to understand is you're really feeding them that energy of yours when they leave you in that devastated space. And when they rub it in your face with the new person, what you have to understand is that the novelty of that new person is going to wear thin very quickly. And even more so if you move on without them and you are okay with it and they're not affecting you anymore and you cut them out of your life. The purpose of this new person is that they can really triangulate that person against you to elicit more negative supply from you, and they can make sure that it bothers you for a longer amount of time because, again, these people don't want to see you move on. Ideally, for the narcissist, they leave you so confused and angry and upset that you are never the same person for the rest of your life, and they get to think for the rest of their life how much better they are than you. They get to think about you and how pathetic you are, and they get to look at themselves and think that, you know, oh, at least I'm not this person. I'll always be better than this person. And that's why, inevitably, when these people see you moved on, even they don't have to see it, they can feel it energetically, right? They are going to want to come back and get into your life again and repeat the same process of devaluing you. So you can almost count on it. And basically, you're really going to have to maintain your composure during this time when they've discarded you and moved on to the new person. What they want you to do is, really act pathetic and be reaching out to them and clamoring for them. Don't do any of that. Don't give them any of that. Immediately focus on yourself. Even if it's hard, it will be hard. Revaluing yourself, doing things that you love, and rebuilding your self-worth. And what you can count on is that these people are going to be confused by you doing that. They are going to doubt themselves. They are going to doubt their importance in your life. This is going to be a huge blow to their ego, to their grandiosity, right? Because they were the most interesting person that you've ever met. And they really knew how to emotionally manipulate you. Or did they? Because what you're showing them when you do this is that they're not all that. They're not all that important. You can move on from them easily. And that is going to make them extremely insecure. And this new supply that they're with, they're going to tire of that person quickly. It's going to be the same thing. They're eventually going to start to discard, devalue, go through the process with that new person because that is the cycle that these people perpetually live in. They get their self-confidence by projecting all of the negative, dark emotions that they have within themselves onto other people. And the ultimate projection is, when they go through this devaluation of somebody else, that's really projecting how they feel about themselves, how worthless they feel. And they feel so worthless that when they see people who are obsessed with them, who are hooked on them, who are clamoring for their attention, in a weird psychological way, these people know how low and how worthless they feel inside. And so if somebody could be, trying to clamor after attention from such like a worthless person, and that person must be even lower, right? And so when people say that no contact and moving on and living your best life is the best revenge, in a way, this not only is this like a sense of justice despite not playing into their game, doing something active, because again, that's the opposite of what you want. This is going to really hit them in their ego, and this is going to really hurt them and damage their self esteem going forward. And they might become obsessed with you and think about you for the rest of their life if you do this right. If you can just walk away and really show them just how little that they meant to you and how unimportant they are in your life, this is going to be profound in its effect that it has on them. And like I said before, you can literally count on these people coming back once they sense or see that you're moving on. And so then the ball's in your court once they come back. I mean, it might be weeks or months, but you can definitely count on it. And when they come back and they're going to try to repeat the whole process with you, they're going to come back saying all the right things. They're going to know exactly what to say. They're going to butter you up. They're going to be in their acting kind of persona, right? They're going to try to mirror you and show you that that person you met in the beginning is back, you know? And so you have a choice now. It's like, do you want to go through this process again? Because they're going to come back. They're going to want to destroy all of the good things you have going on yet again, because it makes them mad to see that you're doing well. And they want a piece of that. They want to take it for themselves. And they want to ruin it and leave you. And this time they want to leave you devastated for the rest of your life, right? They want to destroy you. They never want to see you do good again, because that's threatening to their ego. And so what you can do is just ghost these people. Leave them on red. You don't have to do any of this in an overt way to like rub it in their face, because these people are very subtle and they can pick up on that. But do it from a genuine place. I mean, it's like, realize how pathetic these people are, how fragile their self-esteem is, how they can never feel good. They can never be by themselves. They always need kind of a parasitic target to feed on for these fleeting amounts of supply, the only thing that makes them feel good. A momentary distraction from their extremely deep-rooted shame and feelings of worthlessness. And so they are a drug addict for their entire life, looking for these tiny, quick hits where it runs out super quickly, and every new person they meet is just a person who has like, you know, a certain size tank of gas that they try to suck up as quickly as they can before they leave that person empty and move on. And if you exit their life properly, they are going to be obsessed with you and think about you for the rest of their life. And so when they say that moving on with your life is the best revenge, it quite literally is. And I think it's going to affect them in a way that you don't entirely understand. So don't go out of your way feeling angry or giving all your emotions towards this person trying to get back at them. That's going to play right into their hand. If you do it this way, then it's going to affect them deeply. And they're going to be pining for you and obsessed with you, and just don't make the mistake of letting them back in. And that's my best advice.